I want to bring it back actually for a second. I want to bring it back to Kentucky. Was this your lowest moment, or was it when you came back to Miami?
It was when I was in Kentucky. It was definitely my lowest moment.
So what's going through your mind at the time?
I was just lost. I really had I had no guidance. I had no path. I just was really like lost. I was like in blah.
Yeah.
And I was just very down on myself. And that's when I started taking painkillers because of my surgery. That's how I got access to this painkiller. So I was taking painkillers all throughout the day. And I would just go to class, smoke weed, take painkillers. And throughout that, I gained a whole bunch of weight. Blah, I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. Like, I was really down. I didn't have a purpose. It just from one day to another, like, I told myself, if you really want to live this life that you say that you were destined to, it needs to start right now.
So tell me a little bit about like what happened to you in making this shift. You're going now to Aventura every morning at like, what, 4:45?
Yeah, 4:45 in the morning.
And you're working for free, essentially. And like, what's driving you? What's the vision behind that?
What's up, fam? My name's Andrew Loringer, and this is the Planted Moves Podcast. Planted Moves was created for those looking to better themselves and become their greatest version by discerning clear vision, pursuing higher purpose, and staying grounded in faith on the road to success. Welcome to Planted Moves.
Showtime.
Cool. Thank you, bro. Well, dude, Ramses, it's a pleasure having you on the pod, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you, bro.
Excited.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Planted Moves. I'm super excited to have Ramses here. Ramses, bro, CEO of Royalty Supplements.
Yes.
Online coach. You're coaching over 15,000 people online around the world, right?
Around the world, yeah. It's been a long process, but we're still growing, most importantly.
For sure, man. And what else you got going on? I know you've got some training goals.
Just the usual, just training for an Ironman, just doing hybrid training, trying to switch it up.
Dude, what is that like?
I would definitely say it's completely different than what I grew up on and been doing my whole life. So it's very challenging. To me, the thing that I enjoy the most is the mental aspect of it. You know, it's very physical, like swimming, biking, running. But it's all one thing I learned. I've been doing this for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, it's all mental. The mental gain, the mental like strength that you gain from it, it's unmatchable. It doesn't, muscle, no gains, I will gain ever from lifting weights compared to the mental aspect that I have gained from switching my style of training as I have over the past 2.5 years.
And that's the part you like.
Yeah, that's honestly my favorite. Of course, I love biking. I love running. You see me at the track.
Yeah, I've seen you there.
But to me, it's just the mental aspect of it, of how mentally strong it has gotten me as a person individually. So that's hands down. As much as I love the whole sport, the whole concept of it, it's the mental aspect of it, because, you know, it takes a lot of you, of course, physically, but the mental aspect of having to go for a 10-mile run at 7 a.m. in the morning, or like going riding 100 miles, you know, physically, I know I could do it, but mentally is what's really, you have to put yourself apart. So
that's the part that's like hard for me, and I think hard for a lot of people. In my mind, that day that I saw you at the track last week, bro, in my mind, I'm sure you saw me, I was struggling. I haven't ran in so long. And when I was at the track in my mind, bro, I'm getting it.
Of course.
And in reality, I'm like basically slow jogging. But yeah, man, that's like a mental barrier that's admirable, bro.
Appreciate
It's cool, man.
Thank
So like, what's the hardest part of, I guess, switching, because you're kind of switching sports, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's full on switch.
And what's going through your mind when you're like really giving it your all and you feel like you can't go any further? Like that David Goggins thing's coming to sit in. Are you just going all in? Or
you know, I have like this mentality. If I put my mind into doing something, I get tunnel vision. It's kind of a great thing that I have, but sometimes it could backfire me. But when it came to this training, I just set my mind on, you know, I'm obviously not going to be the best out there because my body frame is not really meant for this kind of sports. I'm kind of like on a bigger side.
Yeah.
And I just been doing it compared to people who grew up their whole life doing it. But I told myself, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to make people turn their head and be like, whoa, who is this guy out there moving at this speed, doing this kind of thing that he's doing? Because they're not used to seeing someone like me, my frame, my looks, my style of person. They're not used to seeing this kind of person. So when I show up to the runs, to the competitions, when I go cycling with people, everybody's always turning heads. And that I low-key, I enjoy that because it makes people like question me, you know? they're like, this guy's not doing the kind of things that he's showing. And then when they see it in person, they're like, whoa, like, you know, that's honestly one of the things that I enjoy the most, just proving people are wrong and showing them that, you know, my body frame, the way that I look, is just, it might be different, but I can still perform at a high level. You know,
That's true.
Not professional level, of course, because that's just not reality, but at an amateur level, the type of level that I'm performing, it's very impressive, and especially with my size. So.
It is, yeah. I've seen you run around the track, and I'm like, dude, this guy is getting it. I've seen you.
Yeah, I was out there dying this morning.
Dang. So do you go every day?
Not to the track, I just go Wednesdays.
You just go Wednesdays, okay.
So the other days I go long runs or out in the street, but Wednesdays is speed work.
So you're always doing something?
Always.
Dang. Because I see you at the gym too.
Sundays is my day off.
Yeah.
And I'll just stretch, do a light walk or something like that. But Monday to Saturday, twice a day.
Dang. Well, I know just because in prep for the show, I was listening to some of your other podcasts that you've done, and I know that you weren't always this way.
No, not at all.
So, like, what was really the turning point? I know that you had an injury, right?
Yeah, so back in college, I used to play college football.
Yeah.
This was back in 2010, 2011. I suffered an injury. The injury caused me I tore my labrum, my shoulder, and that really messed up in my head because that was kind of like my football career was done at that point. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to the NFL, I'm playing football, so, and I got injured. I kind of went into a whole depression. I started taking painkillers, started, you know, smoking weed every day. I was in Kentucky, so not only I was going through it, I was in the middle of winter in Kentucky in a dry county in the mountains, full of snow, blizzards. So it kind of like really messed up with my head. I had gotten a DUI too in the same time frame in Kentucky. So I was just going through a very bad and negative situation. And I was just very down on myself. And that's when I started taking painkillers because of my surgery. That's how I got access to those painkillers. So I was taking painkillers all throughout the day. And I would just go to class, smoke weed, take painkillers. And throughout that, I gained a whole bunch of weight. And then I just came back down after the Christmas break to Miami. And then for the first like 2-3 months, I was just lost. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life. Like I'm overweight, like I'm lost. And my dream since I was like in middle school was just going to the NFL, and it kind of like just shattered. And then, it just kind of like hit me. I was just like, in order for me, even when I was going through my down moments, I always believed in myself.
Yeah.
And that's like what I feel like it's one of the things that has taken me to where I am in my life is no matter how bad of a situation I'm going through, no matter how bad I feel, because not every day I'm feeling amazing. Some days I feel at the bottom, I'm feeling like shit, but I always believe in myself, and I always believe that I deserve greatness, and I was born for greatness. Even when I was been at my lowest, I always knew that I was destined for greatness. So, I started talking to myself. I had a lot of free time, and I was just like, if I want to be great, if I want to live a life of greatness, something needs to change.
Yeah. This
negative mindset, me being overweight, might not make it to the NFL, but what else can I do in order for me to be great in life? And, I was just like, if I'm not playing football, I love working out. I love being active. The closest thing to it is being a trainer.
Yeah.
So I reached out to my trainer from high school. He was a professional strength and conditioning coach. We talked, chopped it up. He told me, send me your resume. 2 days later, I had an internship at one of the top training facilities in Miami.
That's awesome.
One of the owners, he's like, hey, you want to do this for real? I'm like, yeah, come here it was at 4:45 a.m. and I'm in Kendall. I used to live in Kendall at the time.
You said you have to be there 4:45?
Yeah. So
where was it?
In Aventura.
And you're coming from Kendall?
Kendall, middle of summer for like, people at that time, you trying to party, I'm like.
For people that don't know, that's like a solid minimum hour drive.
Yeah, for like sure. 45 minutes, mine is 5 in the morning.
Oh, well, if it's 5 in the morning, yeah.
5 in the morning, no sleep.
But still, I mean, you're waking up early, man.
So for free, working 8 hours.
Oh, so you're not getting paid either?
Oh, no, this was free.
Okay.
I was working 8 hours shift Monday through Friday for free.
Okay.
From 5:30, I had to be there between 5 and 5:30 till 2 in the afternoon.
I want to bring it back actually for a second. I want to bring it back to Kentucky. You said Kentucky, right?
Kentucky, yeah.
I want to bring it back to Kentucky. And I want to ask you, was this your lowest moment, or was it when you came back to Miami?
It was when I was in Kentucky. It was definitely my lowest moment.
So what's going through your mind at the time?
I was just lost. I really had I had no guidance. I had no path. I just was really like lost. I was like in blah.
Yeah.
Blah. I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. Like I was really down. I didn't have a purpose.
So you had no purpose.
I had no purpose in life. And it took me a while. Like I said, it really took me some time for me to just talk to myself, kind of like figure out like, what do I need to do in order for me to be great?
And did you have any idea at the time of like what you wanted to do?
Nothing.
You're just
In Kentucky, I was just lost.
Wow.
It took me till I came back to Miami. I came back to my mom's house. They have a room for me, so I'm sleeping in their couch.
Wow.
I'm still overweight. I'm going through a depression, lost, no job at the time. I wasn't even going to school. So I'm just lost. And then I really came to the conclusion that if I really wanted to live a life of greatness, something needed to change. And just like that, even though I was at my lowest point, just from one day to another, I just made a switch. Like, this wasn't something that I did little by little. It just from one day to another, like I told myself, if you really want to live this life that you say that you were destined to, it needs to start right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, like, and it just started. It was a little slow start, but I made that transition from one day to another.
Dude, I totally get that, man. You reminded me of, I had lived in Miami, tried to start a tech company, massive failure. I lost everything. Unlike you coming back to Miami, I had to go back to Virginia, and I'm in the cold in the dead of winter, and I was crying like almost every night, and I felt so lost because I'm like, I went from having everything in Miami, or so I thought, to now going back to Virginia, and I'm living with my parents again, and this was only like 4 or 5 years ago, and I was in all this debt, and I felt the exact same way you did, and I think for me, it really came back to, like you said, I'm glad that you touched on this topic of not knowing what your purpose was, because I feel like there's a lot of people in society right now that they are suffering from depression, they're suffering from anxiety, they're suffering from just a feeling of being lost, and they don't realize how connected it is to their purpose. And if they just, decided in a moment to take action and to shift their mindset, everything could change for them. So tell me a little bit about like what happened to you in making this shift. You're going now to Aventura every morning at like, what, 4:45?
Yeah, 4:45 in the morning.
And you're working for free, essentially. And like, what's driving you? What's the vision behind that?
It just at that time, I was like, this is literally a dream of mine. I was training top NFL players at 20 years old. Like, no kid has that opportunity. Like, I was literally stargaze. Like, I would go there and see some of my NFL players, and I'm training them. A kid, literally a kid training this grown NFL players, and it just really like brought this fire on me. Like, man, like this is really what I was meant to do. So I just kept driving, kept working hard, kept like building my name, getting more confident, talking to this, training this people.
Yeah.
And the coaches, everybody started noticing that like I wasn't just a kid who was there just to hang out around these athletes. Like, I was really taking it serious, trying to get to the next level. So I feel like in that time frame, it really just like started building within me of everything that I really wanted to do. And at the same time, it also came down to like the changes that I was doing with myself, like my diet, being more consistent with the gym, not worrying so much about partying, hanging out with girls, smoking weed. So I kind of like changed my perspective on the things that I needed to focus on.
So you made some lifestyle changes too.
Definitely.
It's awesome, man. So how did you go from this? You're working for free, right? I would imagine during this time you're like building up your brand as well, right?
So it kind of just,
was it like an hourly shift?
I say that like literally Instagram, like everything with social media just happened at the right time by accident.
Yeah.
It was just when social media started was right when I came back from Kentucky. And, this was kind of when I was making the transition to like, right, if I want to become a trainer, I need to look like a trainer. And right now I'm out of shape. Nobody's going to want to train with me or take me serious if I'm out of shape walking around with a gut, I need to be lean. I need to look the part. I need to be well knowledge. And so as soon as I came back from school, I got my internship. I went back to school. I graduated from Barry. So
nice.
At this time, I opened up a social media account, and I didn't even have a certification. I wasn't even a training, but I was like, in my head, I used to go to LA Fitness. So I was like, we're in Miami, so what's the equivalent to LA Fitness? MIA Fitness. And I already had the MIA tattooed on me because I just love the city. I love this lifestyle here. So it just kind of went hand in hand. And I was like, I'm going to start MIA Fitness as my social media account. And I started just by sharing my personal journey. Just sharing my meals, sharing my workouts, healthy snacks, tips, and things that I was just doing for myself. It was just a way of me sharing for people what I was doing for myself and it was working. And then little by little, people started asking me like, oh, can you help me? I want to do the changes that you're doing. People started sharing my content. Little by little, it just kind of like grew naturally and then became a business.
And so you had no certification at this time and people are asking you?
No, at this time, well, when I first started, I had nothing.
Yeah.
But then I was already going to school. So I was like, if I'm going to school, like I was already in that mindset of like being ahead of the game. So I got my certification for trainer while I was in school.
It's awesome.
And then everything just started happening very, very fast. I was working at LA Fitness, and eventually they fired me because I had already started doing like outside boot camps outside of the gym. So
you're doing your own thing on the side, and they didn't like that.
They didn't like that. So someone snitched on me from the gym, and they fired me. And when that happened, I told myself, this is going to be the last time that I'm ever going to work for somebody. Never again am I going to work for nobody after this. And that's when I really went 1,000% on MIA Fitness and building my brand. While I was still doing this, I was still doing my internship and I was still going to school full time. So everything just happened very fast, and like I was just busy.
That's crazy because someone's envy, they tried to come after you.
And it was one of the best things ever. I don't know what my life would have been if I wouldn't have gotten fired, because it really like put this fire on fire. And I was like, man, never again am I working for somebody. Simple as that.
Well, that's huge. And I think that that's a testament to your mindset, right? So a lot of people, they get faced with circumstances such as that and they crumble.
Of course.
And they think that it's over. They got to go find another job at another gym. But you took that opportunity, again, in a very low moment to become inspired to do something better.
I was young at that point. I was 20 years old. And I was the highest personal trainer, the highest paid personal trainer for LA Fitness and almost the country. In Florida, I was the highest paid trainer.
Dude, that's amazing.
At 20 years old, simply because of the fact of the kind of drive that I put in, the knowledge that I had gained from my internship, the kind of style that I was given, the value that I was giving to my clients, the way that I spoke to my clients. I was still very young, but I was still providing that value at a young age.
That's because you were passionate about it. That's why you
enjoyed it. And that was just something that, like people say, when you do something that you will do for free, success just comes at you. And I'm a big believer of that.
That's awesome, bro. That's like what we're doing here. It's doing it for free. Actually, I'm paying for this. So.
Eventually.
Yeah, bro. But dude, that's awesome, man. Yeah. So I can appreciate that. Well, I want to go back to one of the things that you mentioned because it's really hitting home for me. And that was in the moment where you felt lost, it was because you didn't find your purpose, right? Or you didn't know your purpose at the time. However, once you got in a position where you excelled, which was at LA Fitness, and when you were doing the training for free, was that because you found your purpose in that?
Yeah, I realized that my purpose was to help people, and still to this day, I feel like my purpose in life is to help people, to show people that they can do anything they want in life. This is not just about fitness, it's not about health, it's about any path that you want to take in life, like just like I'm living my dream right now, anybody who's watching this, they can do the same thing, but it only takes one thing, and that's believing in yourself over anything, over the adversity, over like how much your life crumbles in front of you. As long as you believe in yourself and you see that tunnel vision and you see that ultimate goal, doesn't matter how life gets at times, because it only means that something great is happening. But that's only going to happen when you believe in yourself, because I'm grateful for being at some of the lowest points of my life, because those low points really made me realize how much I needed to believe in myself to get to where I'm at. And even at this point, I still feel like I have so much growth, so much potential inside of me, and it's just consistently battle to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, that's true, man. The best growth happens in times of discomfort or through times of discomfort. And there's something that was instilled in me by a mentor, and he used to always tell me comfort is the enemy of the king.
Of course.
And it's only through those periods of discomfort that the king is born. 100%. Right? The king that is the version of you now was born in the most uncomfortable situation that past you went through. Yeah. So, I mean, let's say that there is someone on the other side of these cameras that's listening, somebody's in the audience, and they're that kid that's lost in Kentucky, or they're the kid that's going through shit in Miami. Like, what is that one piece of advice besides believe in yourself? That's obviously a huge piece, but is there anything else that you could share with that individual who might not believe in themselves?
Just be disciplined, work hard. I'm a big believer, as long as I give it my best every single day, things are going to work out. If I give it 1,000% every single day, and no matter what it is, my fitness, my work, my business, eventually there's no option for it to succeed.
Yeah.
I just got to keep working hard day in and day out. I'm going to figure out a way. Might not figure out today. I might fail tomorrow and the following week, but I'm still going to keep trying. So my advice will be just keep trying, because there's going to be plenty of failure. You said earlier in your tech company,
Yeah.
failure is going to come. No matter what you do, no matter how you believe in yourself, no matter how hard you work, it's always going to come, but you need to keep pushing forward and keep trying.
Yeah, I agree. And I think failing forward is just so important. And my advice has always been just fail as many times as possible. Don't be afraid of the failure.
So eventually you're going to get it right.
Eventually you're going to get it right.
That's what I tell people, you know. Failure is a great thing because you learn from it.
Yeah.
As long as you don't let it break you down.
I agree, man. Well, all right. So you're at the track every morning. You're crushing it. You're at the gym. I see you crushing it, right? You're always going after it. Are there mornings that you wake up and you're like, I don't want to fucking do this?
This morning.
Yeah, this is one of them?
I went out last night. It was me and my girl's anniversary. So
nice.
went out late. Appreciate it. We went out. We had dinner. We had a couple of drinks, and I just couldn't go to sleep because, you know, I have a lot of things on my mind right now. Work, business, life. I was just very stressful last night, and I was up all night tossing and turning this morning. I woke up, and it was just one of those mornings where I didn't want to be at the track, but I knew if I didn't go to the track, I was going to be upset. I was going to have an even worse day because I was going to be upset at myself for not going to the track and not doing what I needed to do in order to reach my goals. So I ended up going to the track. I went almost an hour late than my usual time, but I had an amazing workout, like one of the best workouts I had in a long time. So, you know, I'm a human just like everybody else. There's mornings where I don't want to train, when I want to work out, but I do it because I know it's going to get me closer to my goals.
I think that's huge because there's a lot of people that are like, you know, he's got something special that I don't have.
I tell people, look, I'm just like you. When that alarm goes off at 5 in the morning, I think about my life. I think about every single excuse that I could make, but then I just tell myself, what's the point of me going back to sleep? I'm going to be up in an hour and a half the most, and then my whole routine for the day, my mood for the day, it's going to be thrown off, and I'm just going to be in a bad mood. I'd rather push through this first 20 minutes, and then the rest is going to be history. It's going to be an amazing day.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Always pushing.
Always. You just got to keep pushing, you know, like tell people all the time, it's always going to be things in front of you. It's always challenges. It's never going to be easy.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to chase something great, when you want that amazing life, the dream life that you always dreamed of. There's no easy path to that.
No, there's
It's a long, challenging road.
And oftentimes you find yourself alone on the journey.
Yeah, of course. It's hard, but it all comes down to you believing on yourself.
It's true. So believing in yourself, being disciplined.
Hard work.
Hard work.
Hard work.
That's great, man.
With those three things, you'll be unstoppable. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, as long as you believe in those three things, your life is going to be a dream.
I love that, bro. Dude, well, tell me a little about, first of all, again, congratulations on your anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
I see you guys on IG doing your thing.
Yes.
That's awesome, bro, to find someone that you're in alignment with.
As a partner.
How's that going?
It's a blessing.
Yeah?
It's a blessing.
Did I see that you guys were recently engaged?
Yeah, we got engaged almost a year ago. It's crazy how time flies. We got engaged in Hawaii.
Congrats,
after my
man.
Ironman.
After the Ironman?
Yeah.
Dang.
So I planned it out, so I was doing the Ironman in Hawaii, and then like a day after, we got engaged in Hawaii.
That's awesome, bro. How did y'all meet?
Social media, Instagram.
Real?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, your whole life is on social media. That's great.
Social media, Instagram was the biggest blessing in my life.
Yo, that's great, bro.
Yeah, so we met through social media. We kind of worked with the same supplement company, Celsius.
Okay.
And then just like that, we started talking, and then it's just, you want to come work out with me one day? And just kicked it off after that.
Dang, that's great, bro.
Because, you know, we're still like a very recent relationship, but
Sure.
It just feels like we've known each other for years and years. And that's how I know, like, this was meant to be. Like, we just clicked from the beginning, and it just felt like we knew each other from years and years ago. Everything is just amazing.
Dude, that's awesome. And I see you're working out together.
Yeah,
you're cooking meals together.
Great to have that partner who has the same mentality.
Yeah.
You know, we work in the same industry, so that makes it easier too, because this is not an easy industry to be with someone with, because, you know, it takes a lot from you. So it kind of helps when we're both in the same industry, and she knows what I go through. I know the struggles that she goes through. So we're able to help one another, bounce back from one another, and keep each other accountable.
Dang. So outside of social media, outside of, you know, the fitness industry, how are you investing into your relationship? Because you invest in yourself a lot.
Yes.
Like, that's obvious. Are you investing in your relationship as well? How are you juggling both?
that's the foundation of myself. You know, if I have a strong relationship, everything else, myself, everything else is gonna grow with that. So, you know, it's about just communicating. I think a relationship, the only way that relationships last and they build a strong relationship is by communicating from the beginning. Don't keep things in your head. That's one thing that I feel like as I was younger, I had an issue, I had a lot of problems with just keeping things to myself, and eventually you just explode. And things don't work like that. So as soon as there's something wrong, something that I don't like, something that she doesn't like,
talk about it.
Talk about it right away. Don't wait till tomorrow. Just communicate and let's get it fixed.
It's awesome.
When you both want things to work, you're gonna figure it out. You know, when you just want push it to the side, that's when you know things are just not gonna work out. It's about communicating and doing it right away.
That's great. So you guys are both on the same mission.
Yeah, we're both on the same mission. We both have the same goal, same mindset. So it's a great thing.
That's awesome, bro. Dude, well, talk to me about Royalty Supplements.
Yes.
I know you've been working on this for a while.
Yes, it's been a long journey. So I started with a supplement company that I used to work with. I was an athlete for a supplement company, and I saw these guys build their brand from having a fat burner, selling that from their trunk, to now being one of the top supplement companies from social media, worth millions of dollars. So as I saw it happen, I was like, these guys are smart. They know what they're doing, but they're no different than me. What they did, there's no reason why I cannot do the same thing that they did. I have a brand. I had savings that I could invest into myself. I believed in myself. I believed that I was capable of doing it. And I just told myself, you know, like, I love social media, but I don't want to be posting every single day. You saw what I was doing before.
Yeah, when you sat down.
I was making my post for the day. You know, I love it, but it can get overwhelming at times.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the bigger picture, and, you know, I'm thinking long term. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a supplement company. And at the time, this was like, when I first started, it was like 5 years ago. It took me like a whole year of doing research, the products, thinking of a brand, the name, because, you know, at the end of the name is everything when it comes to a branding. So I started thinking. It took me like 6 months, honestly, to just come up with the name.
Wow.
So eventually we came up with Royalty. To me, Royalty stands for, like, you know, you're royal, high standard company. It kind of goes hand in hand with my name. So I was like, I need something.
Ramses.
I need something to go and brand with myself. So we came up with Royalty, and then it just kind of like, when we first launched Royalty, we kind of had a niche because we had our products were with CBD.
Okay.
So
you started with CBD?
It was a supplement company, but with CBD in it.
Okay.
So we were like probably one of the first companies in the country selling supplements.
Yeah, 5 years ago, you're like on the spearheading side of that.
So, you know, it kind of like was our niche, and it helped us like grow the company, build a brand, because people were like not used to seeing that supplements with CBD. But eventually it just became an issue with like the law. CBD is still not fully legal, merchandise, payments, and it was just becoming a headache more than like and it was really holding the business back from expanding. So, you know, me and my partners, who I just talked about, I was like, look, we're going to take the CBD off, go 100% with just Royalty Supplements, and take it to the next level. So that was almost 2 years ago, and it's been an ongoing battle. You know, the supplement companies, you know, it's a lot of competition out there, but, you know, it's definitely, I think it's worth it. Once, you know, the company is growing at every single month, which is the most important thing. We're constantly growing, we're constantly expanding, constantly creating new products, new flavors and stuff like that. So it's not going to tell you that it's been easy. I have no experience in business, just besides running a social media business. I have no experience in supplements. I had no guidance. I had no mentor. I had nobody to ask questions. I went in with zero experience, zero knowledge, but once again, I believed in myself, and I knew that I was going to work hard and figure it out. I made a ton of errors, spent a lot of money that I shouldn't have spent, a lot of mistakes, but we're here because I learned from those mistakes, and now I'm not making those same mistakes again, and where everything is slowly improving. And like now, like today more than ever, I feel like we're getting to the point where the business is really about to take it to the next level. So this past 5 years are really the mistakes, everything that I did right, everything that I've done wrong, they're slowly paying off. Like right now, like if I have ever been excited about Royalty, is literally in this past like 2 months more than I have ever been.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm
Even at the beginning.
Yeah.
For real?
At the beginning, because I feel like the growth that I always expected to happen, it's happening right now.
That's awesome.
So I'm really excited to like see where this company is going to be at in a year from now.
Nice, man. What's one of the big things that you're working on right now within Royalty Supplements that's got you so excited?
I would definitely say the expansion of new products.
Okay.
And taking our brand more of just a social media into like stores, expanding it through different websites, and getting more athletes and ambassadors. We have a strong ambassador base, but now it's about getting the bigger names to start pushing our brand, because at the end of the day, it all costs money.
Yeah, of course.
And this company wasn't funded by no big time investor, nothing. This was just
bootstraps,
funded by my savings. That was my investor, my savings that I've been saving throughout my life. So we never really had that big chunk of change to really put all the money into it. It's been a slow process, but good things in life take time. So, and it's happening right now. So I'm excited to see I'm bringing in new partners, the partners that we were missing. Because, I'm the kind of person that I feel like if I don't know how to do something, I'm going to figure it out one way or another. I'm going to, just like you, when you started this, you didn't have no one, you bought the camera, you started trying things out yourself, right? You failed. Some things work, some things didn't fail. So I'm the same way. Like, if I don't know how to run marketing, if I don't know how to create graphics, I'm doing them myself. Figure it out. It might not be the best. If I don't have an email marketing, I started writing emails. Like, I started doing marketing. Like, I have zero idea what I was doing, but I was getting it done. To now where I'm getting the right people put at their position so they could take care of what they're good at. I'm good at the marketing and good at social media. I'm creating content, bringing people together. But I'm not a marketing guy. I'm not an email marketing guy. I'm not a Facebook ads guy. Now those pieces of the puzzle have been put there.
And now you can delegate.
The whole puzzle is being played out in front of me. So now I'm just going to sit back a little bit and start just plugging things out. So,
well, that's good, because if you first started to learn how to do the bits and pieces, at least to a little bit of an extent, so like you said, you're not a master, but now you have a knowledge so that you know who to delegate tasks to. What tasks?
Can argue with them.
Okay.
I have some knowledge that I could argue with them. We're like, oh, this is cool. Like this, I see why you're doing this. At least now I have some knowledge.
Exactly.
Topics.
That's awesome.
I'm not a professional, but I have some. I got my feet wet on all these fields that 2 years ago I would have been so lost.
Well, that's awesome, and that's just a progression of time. And I'm noticing a common theme. So in your personal life, and obviously the business ends up being personal anyways. It's one and the same. But I love how in your personal life you're really belief was believing in yourself, discipline, and hard work, right?
Yes.
And now in the business, it's believing in the business, the discipline, and the hard work.
Yes.
And that is encompassed through your consistency. I mean, 5 years is a long ass time.
Yeah.
5 years is a very long time. We've been running Millennium Mortgage now for about 3 years, and it's been 3 long ass years. Been in the game for 7, right? And it takes a toll on you. Yeah. And there's days where you just want to give up and be like, fuck this. Why are we even doing this? But then like there's something that always keeps you going. For the mortgage business, for me at least, it was the big checks and the ability from within those checks to fund passion projects like this, for instance, right? What's that thing for you that keeps you going? Because I know that there's been times in this business and you've been like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I just see the bigger picture. I see the final picture of Royalty Supplements being the brand that I know it's going to be. When I had the vision of me starting this company 5 years ago, I knew that my belief, my thoughts, my vision were for this company to be one of the top supplements, not just in the United States, but worldwide. And I know it's only a matter of time before we get there. It's been nothing but hell this past 5 years, from not making a single dollar to just working crazy amounts of hours, just putting money into it, throw money into it without getting anything in return. Yeah. But I know all my investments, all my time, which is more precious than the money that I invested into this company, are all going to pay off, and we're going to deliver an amazing company that's changing people's lives. Changes people's health because we're providing high quality supplements. We're providing them with value. We're helping them build their confidence, and we're helping them live a healthier lifestyle because we're bringing them A1 products into their home.
Yeah, dude, I believe that. And one of the primary reasons why I know that you're going to be successful with this company and take it to that level is because you're discipline and belief in the vision, and then also purpose, right? Because you've now just described to me, I had belief in the vision, and the vision is so much bigger than what it is now. So your belief in the vision is what fuels everything. That's what makes your employees believe in you. That's what makes the people that you're delegating tasks to believe in you and the project, is because of the vision. And then on top of that, you're fulfilling your purpose as well by helping other people. And I think
it all just goes hand in hand.
It's such a hand-in-hand combo. It really is, man. So that's awesome. I definitely believe that the company is going to go far as a result of, if anything, just mindset alone.
Yeah.
You know, because that is such a powerful thing that a lot of people don't have. And that's something that we try to instill in the men that come here in the group, is that like, you have to get really clear on your purpose. You have to understand your purpose. And more importantly, if not just as important, is you really got to get clear on your vision. And if you have a clear vision and you understand why you're doing it, which goes back to your purpose, then you are unstoppable. Yeah. And even when you go through these hard times, even when you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit from the night before, you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to hit the track, you don't want to make the call if you're in sales, like, you're going to do it anyways because it's in line with that bigger purpose.
See the big picture.
Yeah, man. I love that. Well, that's awesome, bro. So besides the expansion of Royalty, which is what you're working on right now, do you have any other passion projects? Do you have anything else you're working on the side? I mean, you're a busy guy. You've got your fitness, which is ongoing, nonstop. You've got your relationship, which is flourishing, which I'm happy for you. And then you've also got your business, which is really taking off and it's about to explode. Yes. What else do you have going on?
I think just the main thing is just working. My main focus right now, I used to have so many small little projects that I was trying to do, and I realized that, like, I need to put my 100% effort into this. I slowed down from doing races, the triathlon races, because I feel like my time, energy, and focus were not being 100% into Royalty. So I kind of like let go of small little projects, let go of little things like that, so I could focus 100% on Royalty. Because like I said, like, now more than ever, I really feel like this is the time when this company is about to blow up and go to where I envisioned it to when I first started. So like, I kind of like just told myself I love doing a million things at the same time because I feel like I could take it all. But I realized if I really wanted Royalty to get to where I wanted to be, like, especially right now more than ever, I needed to focus just on Royalty right now.
That's great. Make the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
There's a book on that shelf behind you called I think it's The One Thing. The One Thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. And it's all about one thing, but with everything you have.
Yes.
Instead of trying to spread so thin a bunch of different projects here and there, instead just putting everything laser focused into one thing and you'll be successful at it.
Of course.
So that's great, bro. All right. So another personal question, I suppose. We've talked about what you've got going on that's great right now. Are there any things that you're struggling with or any challenges that you're overcoming or working through that you don't mind sharing?
No.
And if not, that's awesome.
So, I mean, it just comes down to, like, you know, we get overwhelmed with work, with your personal life, with your family and stuff like that. So sometimes it can just be very overwhelming trying to help so many people at the same time, and you kind of like tend to just forget about yourself. And I think that's something important that, you know, a lot of people need to realize that, you know, it's okay to help others, but you cannot help others unless you're helping yourself. You know, it's a very big thing. You know, we as humans, we want to, you know, especially when we have loved ones that they need our help, tend to just put so much emphasis on helping them when we don't realize that unless you're really 100% within yourself, you cannot help others, you know? Yeah. So I feel like that was one thing that I ended up catching myself lately, was just like helping family members, just trying to like help them get out of like low points in their life, that it just kind of became more stressful on myself, and it started like putting pressure on myself, especially when I wasn't really able to help them the way that I wanted to. And it kind of like hurt me because I feel like I was like being down on them. I wasn't giving them exactly what they needed from me. So it kind of like started building a lot of pressure within myself. And then I just realized, like, you know, unless I'm happy with myself, I might not be able to help my family members the way that they expect me to, but like, I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Whether they want to accept it or not, I cannot do more than my best, you know? Sometimes my best is just might be very low. They might not see it as, oh, he's doing everything he can. He's giving me money. He's doing this, but like, it might be a low point for them, but it's my best that I can at the moment. And until I'm able to build myself into a stronger person, then maybe I'll be able to give them more. So it's just about being happy with yourself in order to be able to help others. And it's just like, it's been happening with me for the past couple of months where I just have so much pressure on myself, you know, my personal life, my business, my training, that it just kind of like felt overwhelmed when I wasn't really being able to help my loved ones the way that I wanted to. And I kind of like started feeling like I was failing in life.
Wow.
Because, you know, I have all these great things happening, but I couldn't take care of my loved ones the way that I would have liked to. I just, you know, maybe I wasn't in the position financially to help them the way that I wanted to. Maybe my time was just being spent on other things, my mindset. So I feel like it was just kind of like got me in a position where I was just like upset with myself, and I started feeling down. But then I just realized that, you know, like, people just need to accept with what I could offer them. Whether if they like it, eventually I'll be at a better position to help them more. And if they don't, then what can I do? You know, I need to put myself first.
It's great, accepting that. You can't spread yourself too thin.
Oh, because then you crumble down.
Yeah.
And who's gonna help you come back up, you know?
I hear this saying all the time, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
You know, well, what practices do you do? Do you have something that you do daily or weekly, or like, what's your ritual to fill yourself back up so that you can give back to others? And not just from a financial standpoint, but just from your spirit.
Just like meditating, just taking time to myself. I think that's really one of the things that I enjoy about running the most, is because it's kind of like my form of meditation. I go spend an hour and a half running outside with no music and just me and my mind. I think of a million things. I think of all the problems that I'm going through, all the struggles, all the things that are hurting me right now, all the things that I'm doing wrong right now. It's kind of like when I go for my runs, I run Mondays and Fridays. I do like an hour, 2.5 runs.
Wow.
So those moments are like kind of like my meditation times, where I just get in my head and just like contemplate life, contemplate the things that I'm doing right, the things that I'm doing wrong, the things that I could do better. So those are like the times that I give myself, I would say.
That's great. Awesome, man. And one thing I'd like to leave off on, if you could go back as you are now and talk to your younger self, what's something that you would tell him?
Tell him, don't change a thing.
No?
Nothing. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're going to make it. You're going to, you know, when I look back at my life right now, I can proudly say that I have lived the dream. Like, you know, there have been a lot of down times, a lot of negative things happen, but I have lived an amazing life. You know, I came to this country as an immigrant at 9 years old. If it wasn't for my mom taking that risk and coming here for a better future for me, and, you know, I have traveled the world, I have lived in beautiful places. I bought my dream car at 23 years old. Like, I have literally lived my life. So if I could go back to myself, I'll tell him, don't change a thing, make your mistakes, learn from them, and just keep pushing forward, because you're going to have an amazing life.
That's great, bro. You're creating your reality, man.
Yeah, it's literally a dream.
That's great, bro.
Even when I feel like I'm at my lowest, I still feel like it's still a dream. Like, every day feels like I'm like a dream, like it just feels unreal. Because even when I'm at my lowest, I look at my surroundings, I look at what I have around me, and it's still a dream.
Yeah. It's great, bro. So gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude's huge. So some of my key takeaways were, you know, being on your purpose, having a vision, believing in yourself, staying disciplined, working hard, and having gratitude for what you've got.
It's not that complicated. You know, people always try to like find the secret, like this magic. Like, life is not really that complicated. You just said 4 simple things that you could do in your daily life that are really going to change you. Believe in yourself, be disciplined, work hard, and have gratitude for all the things that you have. Because at the end of the day, there's someone out there who wish they could have half of what you have. No matter if you think you have crap right now, if your life sucks right now, there's somebody out there who wishes they could live the life that you live.
I agree, man. It's always somebody that's doing worse.
Yeah, there's always somebody
And
doing worse.
as actually our mutual friend Chris, he said on a podcast recently that comparison is the thief of joy. Yes. So be grateful for where you are, be grateful for what you have, and it cannot go wrong.
Yeah, never.
It's awesome, bro. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining me.
It was amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Well, before we go, I do want you to tell people where they can find you and also where they can find Royalty Supplements.
So you guys can find me on my social media, my Instagram account, which is Ramses_Principe. And then if you guys want to see our supplement company, which is going to be Royalty Supplements. So make sure you guys follow us, check us out, and try the best supplement products in the industry right now. So
Let's do it, bro. Awesome. Well, thank you, man. Thanks for coming.
thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Planted Moves. This was such a great episode. I believe in you. You should believe in yourself too. That's the first step. The second is to have discipline. Third, to work hard. And fourth, to be grateful for where you are in your particular place in life right now. It could always be worse. And I believe for you, it can always get better. So thank you for tuning in. If you have not done so yet, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend if they could hear and benefit from this message. And until then, we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.